83.
Well, as has been mentioned, Dela actually one of the 8 seeds now entering the competition, seeded 8 in fact, and therefore obviously vulnerable to a man who's been in terrific form over the last 2 or 3 years, and I suppose his major contest was this one here, or rather the Irish
92.
Masters here back in February.
Keith to require 150.
And I will echo that excellent point I think Eric Bristow made a couple of times, John, that the lads who are not the seeds have had a game on this hockey, so that might make it matches tighter than they might have been.
58.
So Dela 14 for tops
54.
for 2-0.
Tops. Pulled it a bit, 2 10s.
44.
Chance for Mason, therefore.
Chris, you require 48.
6.
He's going tops.
Game shot in the second leg. Chris Mason. Third leg is Chris to throw first. Game on.
A relative of the great Eddie Norman from the Bristol area, who did more than most for darts in the early days, in the mid-70s. The
60.
excellent West of England organisation, knew him very well. And Mason, as I say, is looking more tapes of darts than most kids have seen Star Wars. Dela also dedicated
88.
from a very early age to the perfection of tungsten tossing. Has to adjust downwards, doesn't mind that, that's his normal style.
100.
It's the biggest ever by street dartsmen ever in Ireland.
100. 100.
The tons coming now with great regularity, settled nicely into the flow, both players.
41.
And the descant to the tungsten being echoed by Russ Bray on stage. Husky tunes.
123.
Not quite the adjustment he needs.
60.
The market dart is going above
Chris,
the
you
60.
require 118.
58 left, 18 for tops. It did him a favour a few minutes ago. It's done him a favour again. Mason on form.
Ominous for
Chris
Dela.
Mason.
Mason has got that relaxedness now that he only got in the last few legs last night. That's
Game
ominous.
on.
Good dart, that first dart gives him that start that he needs, and Dela will be hoping
68.
now that Mason doesn't hit the double top this time. But he's got the range perfect there, hasn't he? He's hit it first time. The last
He's a much more composed player today. 100% change in Mason.
Well, that's the second time so far that Mason started on a 160, had the one yesterday in his game.
100.
To follow it up with a maximum now.
Thinking about a 9 dart. There's this kid. Is he ever?
This one in, Chris. Yes!
Oh, yes! Yahoo! Oh, Bigora!
Well, what a start to this second day here at Rosslare with Mason. 160 start, 180. He's got to get treble 20, treble 17, full.
Chris, you
Be
require
the third time ever on TV. Unlucky son, 7 darts, the 7th one missed. Thinking about a car, thinking about the third televised 9 dart.
Nevertheless, a terrific leg this, and
Won't face somebody of Dela's experience, John.
if there's any consolation for Mason,
60.
it's likely to win him the
Chris,
set.
you require 96.
For 11 darts. Double 9 now for 12. Oh,
78.
so Dela needing
Keith, you
133.
require 133.
Needs to get it. Yes, 73. Treble 19 leads double 8. Hard luck.
93. Prix, you require 18.
For the set. One's double four now.
Game
His
shot.
gamble paid off. Didn't want to risk it. Singling the seed. We thought, Sid, did we not?
Game
that
on.
Mason might just.
That's right. And 2 other points. Dela will not get the 9 darts starting at double 14. And in fact, he was the man who stood and watched low, get 102,084 in the MFI for the 9 dart.
He's going to have another go here. 160 start, is it? Oh,
120.
And a lovely lie, that second dart. Thought he was going to get the third.
Now that is a good attitude for a darts player to have just missed dart 7 towards a 9 dart, and then come out with it in his mind again. He's not thinking of winning the game. He's thinking about even higher achievements. A very good attitude, but you've got to talk the talk and then walk the walk here. Capable of doing it, a different player than what we saw yesterday against Brown.
$140.
Yes, I got the impression yesterday when Mason was preparing for the game with Brown, he was interviewed, of course, and he said, I'm not really sure how I'm going to fare. I've been practicing hard, but I don't know how well I'm going to play. Well, I think he forced his way into form yesterday, and I think he's carrying it on now into this match today.
Exactly, there was no element of kidology in that. He certainly found his form at the end of that match, and he put his thumb out here like a thoroughbred.
141.
But Dela still ahead in this first leg of this second set. Will be stepping up in a moment.
105.
For 53. 13 and tops.
53.
There's a big 13. Tops he wants.
Game shot in the first leg. Keith Dela.
Against the
5
throw.
sets this.
Second leg is Chris the throw first. Game on.
With the throw, sorry.
75. No score.
Well, Dela won the first leg in the opening set and then lost it 3-1. And you've got Mason already
60.
scoring, and Dela still got to hit that opening double.
Irish eyes, smiling. Why not? Best players in the world here on a crunch day here. Did 2, the 8 seeds, taking on the challengers who came through from yesterday. And now I get the idea that Mason is in such a cocoon of concentration, he won't let odd blobs upset him. Because Dela is looking at a whitewash here. He ought not to lose his rag off because. Great second shot.
140.
Well, he's got to do that a time or two more to try and peg back that lead that Mason's obviously got now through starting so soon and making a big hole.
140.
To leave 89.
Treble 19 for 2 16s.
Press you require 89.
2 16s coming in. Over adjusted.
73.
So Chris Mason, double 8.
140.
With Dela on a 3-dart finish, but an unlikely one. He's not going to have a go at it anyway. It's one leg all in the second set. Mason one set up.
Third leg, it's Keith to throw first. Game on.
Impressive start by Mason. 89.27 his average. Dela just about 10 points behind, 79.32. That will be affected adversely by the failure to start, and that's the difference between them at the moment, Sid. Mason's having no problem getting away.
And he's thinking with a 9-dart every time to the foot. And also, John, a 90 average at this, which he's got now, as good as a 100 average straight start.
108.
Yes, it reminds me of the early Jockey Wilson does, Mason. Give or take a few teeth. So that same bounce that Jockey had, that spike the bulldog attitude, enjoys his darts. All right, he's enjoying it halfway through the game against Brown, but real competitor. As Dela throughout his career has looked sometimes to be slightly on the verge of losing his rag with himself. He's, as Chris has said, great career Dela had.
100.
World champion. Stayed at the top since then. But sometimes looks a tortured man on the hockey. Like this kid.
140.
Dela's first maximum, not only of the match, but obviously of the tournament, this being his first game. And puts him in a half-decent position now.
98. Keith, you require 113.
So treble 20 will leave 53. Now 93 left, that's treble 19 for double 18, 74, treble 14. 60 when he goes, and he may not go the way Mason's been throwing.
100.
Half
60.
fancy this, Sid.
Topsy wants to go ahead yet again. Middle of the
Shot in
bench.
the third leg.
Makes the ace. Setting the
Mason.
pace.
Fourth leg is Chris to throw first.
That double top at the
Game
moment
on.
is Mason's, well, every time. I know he's missed it there, but my... That's the first time he's missed double top with his first dart for a long time.
But the agonies, the minute agonies of a dart player multiply a second. You see, Dela lost the first one 3-1, having led 1-0. And now it's going through his head. It's not going to be 3-1 again after I've won the opening. There's a weird, convoluted horror matrix in your head sometimes with darts. The problems suddenly double in
100.
seconds. So again, Dela chasing the game when he started off with a winning leg.
100.
Such an important leg this for Dela. Well, it's important for Mason too, but for Dela particularly, to go 2 sets down against a man throwing the way Mason is at the moment means that it's almost impossible for him really to strike back and win the game. Not totally impossible, but it would be very difficult. But that's a great throw. That's when he needed it. Cometh the hour, cometh the throw. 88 ahead, Dela. And still now 28 ahead. That was a magical 180. Upped his averages into the 80s now.
And look at that. We had 4 180s in the match and 26 scores of a ton plus. Great standard.
122.
Yes.
Dela really showing his form now.
Dela's coming in consecutive legs as well. Shown a lot of character in this leg, Keith Dela. And should now win it.
96. Keith, you require 50.
Looking at a 14 darter when he needs one. 2 16s.
Game shot in the
15
fourth
darter
leg.
when he had to, John. Game on here in Ireland.
Yes, so much now depends on this
Fifth
first
leg
double.
is Keith
It's the
to throw
deciding
first.
leg.
Game on.
Dela's throwing first. Got to hit that double 14 early.
And barrels that thick. That's an awkward blocker. Over adjusted inside. Good shot.
28.
28 worth a ton. Or is it? Fancy this for 120.
Second dart. Great adjustment.
120.
That's been a key factor in this game to me. Mason's adjustment with a dart near the 60 with a second dart into the bed. Dela is matching it now, though. Great game here.
100.
It is indeed a great game, Sid. 2-0 to Mason if he wins this leg. 1-1 if Dela can take it.
96.
Such an important leg again.
Lost the first set 3-1, having taking the first leg. First leg
45.
here, he took. Looked like going the same old way. You'd bet on Mason keeping them thereabouts on the 60.
100.
Dela needs to find that treble 20 again, at least twice. Just, oh, it's coming down, I think, to the 19s.
99.
For once, his adjustment to the 60 lets him down.
65.
Deliberate leave of Shanghai. On 20s, Dela needs to pressure that shot. Desperately needs a big treble here.
97.
To leave 132, but
Prix
Mason in on
120.
his favourite 20s. There's the treble, now the single, and this double's been kind to him today. For the set.
Oh yes, it's Shanghai! Gives more jump to Dela. Brilliant deliberate leave. Dela surged in the last 3 legs. It wasn't enough. Mason goes 2 sets to love up.
All in a day, she saw the face in the mirror.
As the good book says, well, I occasionally dip into it away from the racing post. Some seeds fall on stony ground. Dela, the seeds come in today to this tournament and could be on the way out. Mason game, John, look at the averages.
Very, very impressive, Mason. 91.13, and Dela's upped his game. He has only won 3 legs out of the 9 played, and came so close in that last set to taking it. But he's now got a mountain to climb.
4 180s, 31 scores of a ton plus. Dela off on double 14.
48.
Standard continues. And we reckon, Eric Bristow spotting, and John reckon Dela been playing anybody else. He'd been winning.
Well, I think with an 81 average, he certainly wouldn't be 2 sets down in this form of competition with a double start. If you're in the mid-80s or above, you're throwing really well. If you're in the 80s, you're not doing too badly.
180!
Yep. Dela's problem has not been the scoring as such. That's his 3rd 180. It's been his failure to start as readily as Mason.
Correct.
140.
Mason, a 16th of an inch off the maximum there to reply to Dela's very high standard darts. I remind you, there are 8 seeds coming in today. Taylor,
100.
Dela. The challengers who played yesterday will take them on. Mason struggled yesterday to find form till the last 5 minutes against Brown, but he's looking at class act now.
Is he just 180 for 180? Dela hits 1. A couple of throws later, Mason 2. They've hit 3 apiece 23. In this match.
Chris requires 60.
And that one from Mason leaves him on double 8 to take another leg and move closer to a possible victory and a quarter-final place.
The first leg. Chris Mason.
Well, he won't do a galota, but he's taking some heavy punches here.
Keith to throw first. Game on.
Mason's class has oozed in this game. Got 6 darts down the trail.
67.
To the 9 darter did Mason. He's got that just, I would say perfect, that nice mix of concentration and relaxation.
40.
Yes, he's just getting away every time, Mason, with that double top, and of course it's a bonus if you can get away with the first dart, as he has on so many occasions. But whenever Dela gets away, Mason's never far behind.
Oh, he's looking dynamite on the 60 now. Absolutely deadly. If he takes this set, then Dela, 8 seed is out.
95.
And the match to follow this, the 2 Dennises. Number 5 seed, Dennis Priestley, against the man who came through so impressively yesterday, Dennis Smith.
85.
Had a very impressive victory, Dennis Smith, yesterday. He averaged in the 90s, or late 80s.
Well, at the moment,
60.
his accuracy is down to the thickness of a darning needle. If anybody darns anymore, price of socks being what they are. He is missing when he misses by a 16th of an inch on that 60. That was the deflection, took it off. He's hot now, his miss.
91.
Cover shot, treble 19.
99. Chris, you require 146.
And Dela looks at Shanghai.
Treble 18. Would have left double 16. And yes, we've seen Mason get the Shanghai 120
Keith, you require
to win the second set. Can Dela do the same? Not a bad lie, just underneath it he needs.
Yeah,
now the double.
Vital dart in the match. This tops. Yeah! Shanghai reply!
Keith Dela.
Mason did it a couple of minutes ago. Dela did need
Third
that.
leg is Chris to throw first. Game on. $40.
Once again away. Imperative, therefore, that Dela gets away too.
It is very rare they're missing a double to start, John.
28.
But Mason with the darts. Score heavily, other man under pressure.
But he is capable of these surges to hit 180, Dela.
81.
Still a 10-point difference in the average. Mason 91.81, Dela 81.5.
43.
Beautiful follow through there.
$140.
Yes!
All the more so, Sid, because it was replying to 43. Dela saw the gate opening and went through it. Still only 26 ahead, less these.
But Mason's putting broken glass on top of the gate.
174.
Cracking match, this.
Absolute magic darts here. And we're going to feast of this all day for you,
100.
folks. Coming up.
Chris, you require 104.
John Part, world champion. Richie Burnett, former world champion. Phil Tilley, at times world champion. One dot Manley at Play Baxter. It's all happening today here in Ireland.
80.
Now Dela's got to find something from somewhere for a 152. Two treble 20s, double 16.
Brilliant
yards.
Pressure on this shot. Oh, that's a marker for sliding in off the barrel.
Game shot
yes.
in the third
Mason.
leg. Chris Mason.
Mundo.
Fourth leg, it's Keith to throw first. Game on.
And he's throwing to try to save the match. Gets the double 14 as usual.
88.
Pleasure to commentate on this one, John. Superb match. We've got 6 darts towards the 9 dot. And Mason is really putting out a marker to the rest of the lads, even the Taylors of this world. Hey, I'm here.
And I really do think that Mason now is flourishing as a result, as much as anything, of having been up there yesterday, having struggled for a set or two, got it together towards the end of his match yesterday, and he's carried that on into today. Dela didn't have the luxury of a match yesterday, and I think it's shown in this match, although
81.
Mason really has been on song with that opening double. He's rarely missed the tops. I can't remember him missing it actually at any stage and getting a naught call.
And you've got to have a big ego to play this game. From the days of Evans, from the days of Reese, Bristow in his prime, massive egos go with it, and he had the confidence to come out thinking about 9 darters from the middle of the match.
43.
He didn't just want to win the game, he wanted to see if he could do a 9 dot. And if your aims and darts are that high, and your talent's what Mason says, then you can get the glittering prizes
78.
And just a touch of body language beginning to show now. Dela disappointed there. Although he's 103 ahead in this leg. Knows he cannot afford to lose it.
100.
So,
Keith, you require
got to make that advantage
154.
count.
Oh, that dart was blocking the beds and that one hit.
58. Chris, you require 157.
Gives Mason a chance here. Anything around 3 figures. Might even polish it off. If tops had been his target, one would have fancied it.
133.
Keeping his
Keith, you
composure.
require 96.
Keeping the pressure on Dela here for this 2-darter. 218s to save the match. Pulled it. 214s.
Ironic.
82.
The one that he's nominated basically as a starting double lets him down. Now Mason for the match, double 12. Needed 2 darts last time. Had a similar lie to that with the first. And then got it with the second, but not this time. Double 6. I bet.
12 score.
Dela will be standing back.
Keith, you require 14.
Want to hear game shot.
He's just had a fingernail sandwich. Here he goes for 2-7.
No, it is in fact two 6s.
Oh, double 2 still a chance. Oh, wrong side of the wire.
They're both on double
Chris,
6
you
at the start of that
require
throw.
12.
Half an inch, maybe a quarter, and it's match. Quarter now.
Game. Shot. And a match. Chris Mason.
So Chris Mason. What a great performance from Mason. An average of 89.57. Dela threw well, but Mason